Pastor Matt again with another edition of the Connection Group Scoop on the Run. Hey, I want to do something a little different today. I want to share with you what I found in my quiet time this morning with Jesus. And it is this. I read in Luke chapter 17, verses 11 through 19. It's the story where Jesus comes across these 10 lepers. They're outside of the village. They've been banished outside the village because they're contagious sores. And when they see Jesus coming, they holler out to him, "Hey, Jesus, have pity on us." And the text says they hollered out in a loud voice. But when the text continues, it shares what Jesus said to them. It doesn't say that he had a loud voice. And in my mind's eye, I picture more of a the prodigal son kind of experience where Jesus probably went right up to these guys because he cared about them, because he loved them, because he created them, because he wanted them to be healed. So I would imagine Jesus probably hugged these guys and cared for them and basically gave them a way to be healed. And he says, go show yourself to the priest. And undoubtedly, some of them probably thought, well, the priests are ones that banished us to be out here to begin with. But the text says, as they went, they were cleansed. So it took steps of obedience in the right direction before they experienced the cleansing. I can just imagine they're on their way to see the priest and they're just walking, and all of a sudden my sores they're going away right before my very eyes. With every step, more sores disappeared and they become healed. And it says that one of them came back. One of them came back to give thanks to Jesus, and he fell at Jesus' feet, praising him with a loud voice, the text says. And I kind of think, you know what? I've been blessed so often. How often do I return thanks for the many blessings? And why don't I? And sometimes I get this entitlement. I've worked for this. I've worked hard for this, blessing. But who allows me to work? Who's given me the strength? Who's given me the education? Who's given me the experience? It's Jesus. Jesus is the one that gives me the ability to take my next breath. So often sometimes I just forget. I just forget to say thanks to Jesus, and life gets busy. And whenever I hear somebody say, man, I ask them, hey, how you been doing? I'm busy, man. I'm so busy. I cringe a little bit because I know with the busyness often comes, I don't have time for Jesus. I don't have time to spend time in his word. I don't have time to give him any time. And the busyness thing is a killer for us. And it often keeps us from saying thanks. And sometimes it's just my own selfishness. I just move on from this thing to the next thing to the next thing. And that keeps me from saying thanks. And I don't know what keeps you from saying thanks, but there was one guy that came back to thank Jesus for this miracle that happened in his life. You and I experience miracles every day. And I would pray and challenge you and just beg you to come to Jesus' feet sometime this weekend and say, thank you for the so many blessings that you've blessed me with in my life, Jesus. Thank you for so many blessings. We have so much to be thankful for. He also said to that one guy that returned, your faith has made you well. This guy that returned, and I don't think Jesus is talking about being well from the sores, from the disease he was going through. I think Jesus meant being well spiritually. This guy wanted to have a relationship with his healer. And he came back and he said, thank you, Jesus. I didn't deserve that. You healed me because you loved me and you cared about me. And in return, I'm going to come back and say thanks. Hey, this weekend's Thanksgiving. Let's return and say thanks to our healer. He loves us. He cares about us. He has given us so many blessings. Hey, this has been Pastor Matt with another edition of the Connection Group Scoop on the Run. Until next time, enjoy Thanksgiving, eat lots of turkey, and watch lots of football, but most of all, be grateful and thankful for the things that Jesus has blessed us with.